The difference between a friendly knock and a soft one is how your brain fills the silence afterward. A friendly knock expects you. A soft one waits to be invited in. I was unloading groceries when the first soft knock came. 3 light taps, a pause, then one more. It was 9:43 p.m. on a Wednesday. I live alone in a third-floor one-bedroom. No visitors scheduled. No packages. I held a carton of eggs and listened. Nothing. Then the same gentle rhythm again. I didn't call out. I tucked my phone low in video mode and padded to the door in socks. The peephole showed a hooded figure standing too close to the frame. Head down, hands gathered like they were texting. Left, the landing. Right, my neighbor's door, dark. The person stood perfectly still like they'd practiced being background. "Who is it?" I asked. No answer. The figure tilted their head as if to line an ear with the seam. On my second "who is it?" a soft woman's voice apologized through the wood. "Sorry, wrong door." The tone sounded strange, like a recording at low volume. It made my neck heat up. I opened my building's group chat. No one expected delivery. My doorbell notification buzzed with a thumbnail of my silent hallway. The audio caught the same gentle taps. I switched to live view and saw only my doormat and the dim light. I pressed my ear to the wood. Beyond the fridge hum and a distant boiler thump, I heard a whisper at the landing. A lower voice answered. 2 people. I told the door I was calling the super. Silence stretched so long I almost believed I'd imagined the whispers. Then the soft knock started on my neighbor's door. She's a nurse who works nights. Definitely out. I typed "Are you home?" and deleted it. If they were listening, they'd hear the buzz. I texted the super instead. Someone knocking on 3. Then I called him. While it rang, a shadow skimmed the landing. The hooded figure turned a fraction. I caught a partial face, jaw shaved smooth, a tiny comma-shaped tattoo near the ear. Not the woman's voice. He looked over the stairwell, mouth tight. The super answered on the 4th ring, sounded annoyed, said he'd come up. I kept the camera running. The hallway stayed still until a gloved finger slid under my doorknob, feeling for the latch. It was slow testing. Whoever it was stayed to the side, out of my peephole's cone. Only the hand crawled into view, tapping the metal like a spider for web tension. I didn't scream. I said loud and steady, I already called 911. I hadn't, but it felt smarter than silence. The finger withdrew. Soft, deliberate footsteps went toward the stairs. A hissed whisper. The building door down below opened and thudded shut. When the super reached my floor with a flashlight, we swept the hall and stairs. Nothing except a thin strip of clear tape on my latch, the kind that could keep the door from catching if I cracked it. He peeled it off like it was alive. "Save the clip and time," he said. "Keep the chain on even when you're home." I stacked my groceries back into the fridge by habit, eggs sweaty at room temp, the compressor thumping like a patient, stubborn heartbeat. I didn't grow up cautious. I learned at the night a soft knock made my dog's ears twitch but didn't make him bark. It was a Sunday storm. Everything outside soaked and shining. I rent the street-level unit of a split townhouse. My landlord is meticulous and always messages when maintenance needs access. No message that day. I was in sweatpants, the dishwasher running, when I heard 3 light taps, a pause and one more. I looked at my phone out of habit. "Who is it?" I asked. A man answered through the seam, voice pitched polite, said he was maintenance, checking a leak traced from upstairs. "It's minor," he said, "we just need to see your bathroom ceiling." No ruse. Believable enough to hesitate. But my landlord never does surprise checks, and the building chat hadn't mentioned water. Through the peephole I saw a gray sweater, shoulder close, no logo, no ID. I told him to wait and texted my landlord. "Did you send someone?" While I watched, my dog pressed against my shin, head low, not growling, not wagging. The man knocked again, softer, like he didn't want neighbors to hear. "It's urgent," he whispered. "The upstairs neighbor is out and water could spread through the walls. Can I just take a picture and go?" My landlord wrote back. "No one is scheduled. Do not open." My palms flashed hot. I said through the door I'd meet him in the hall with the super. No answer. A scuff of a shoe. Then something slid under the door, grazing my toes. a business card in a plastic sleeve. It said PM services with an all-purpose number. The sleeve was wet. The card was dry. While I stared, a blue-white glow washed the floor through the gap, like a screen. I knelt and angled my head. The glow tilted away in the instant. He had a phone to the crack. He was trying to film under the threshold. I said I was calling the police. The glow snapped off. I backed from the door and dialed anyway. While it rang, I unlatched the side window. Rain hissed on the sill. In the glass, I saw a second shape peel off the wall and step to the sidewalk. The first followed. Both turned from the streetlight. The card sleeve left a wet snail trail. 12 minutes later, a patrol car rolled by. The officer took the card and my landlord's text, noted a damp smear at the jamb, and found my side gate cracked. The neighbor's doorbell clip later showed two men, no tools, taking turns at my door. I wish I could say that was the end of soft knocks for me, but the quiet kind finds you when your guard is dressed like routine. I was house-sitting for my aunt the week she flew to Phoenix for a conference, trading my small apartment noise for her quiet ranch and its long, creaking hall. Her driveway made a shallow U past a side mudroom door, then curled to the front steps with the brass knocker no one uses anymore. I got there before dark, walked the rooms like I always do, and memorized the way the motion lights blinked alive then faded to nothing. At 10:32 the first knock came, 3 light taps, a pause, and one more like someone practicing manners. It came from the mudroom door, not the front, polite enough to make me step closer. "Who is it?" I asked, and a girl's voice said, "Sorry, wrong door." Through the frosted pane I saw a shoulder and a piece of hair but not a face. That felt intentional. My aunt's text tone chimed, a vacation photo, and when I looked back the silhouette was gone. I cracked the door lock to check the landing, chain still on, and heard a whisper that wasn't the girl's voice at all. Lower, older, close to the wood. I said I'd call the neighbor across the street, Mr. K, and there was a leaf-soft scuffle and the driveway gravel popped under a foot. Mr. K picked up on the second ring, promised to step out with his flashlight, and told me to stay inside. I watched the side windows while we stayed on the line. Something passed the glass low to the sill, too smooth and level for a person walking upright. It looked like a head and shoulders gliding, as if someone were crouched and using the wall as a rail. Mr. K said he saw 2 shapes by the hedges, and then they melted backward into the dark like they knew exactly where his light stopped. After he walked my perimeter with me on speaker, I found the reason for the knock. A length of clear fishing line looped my inside deadbolt through the mail slot, nearly invisible until my finger found its tension. If I had slid the door open even an inch to peek, someone could have yanked the bolt sideways and defeated it. We cut the line, saved the knot, and Mr. K's wife pulled a ladder to show me the bathroom window screen quietly popped at a lower corner. The next morning the deputy took the nylon cord, photographed the damp nail marks in the garden bed, and told me to keep the porch light on timers even if I was home. He said the soft knock is bait, and the real work happens in the quiet you give them. Months later I moved to a studio over a corner deli near campus. Radiator heat and a fickle front buzzer that sometimes screamed instead of ringing. The place was a rectangle, door to the left, bed against the far wall, kitchenette to the right, a window that faced the brick of the next building, and nothing else to pretend was a hiding place. It snowed the night it happened, the kind that smothers street noise and makes every footstep a signature. At 2:17 a.m. soft knock feathered my door, 3 taps, a pause, and one more, so close to the first story's rhythm it made me laugh without humor. "Who is it?" I asked, and a guy said, "Sorry man, late delivery, wrong floor." I hadn't ordered anything, and the deli below closes at midnight. Through the peephole I saw nothing but brown. It took me a second to realize the lens was covered from the outside. The soft knock came again, same polite rhythm, like a waiter at a hotel door. I slid my phone camera under the door and started a live stream, then angled the screen to reflect what the camera saw. It showed a sliver of the hall, a pair of black shoes turned sideways against the jamb, and a square of tape pressing felt over my peephole. The shoes weren't facing my door. Whoever wore them was contouring their body out of the lens cone, like they understood angles better than manners. My cat sat up on the bed and stared at the gap under the door without blinking. A strip of paper slid into the room and stopped by my sock. It said "Open please" in soft pencil, the kind of graphite that smears when you breathe on it. I dialed campus security and whispered my address. While it rang, the lever handle eased a fraction against the lock. Then again, micro pushes, as if someone were practicing the feel. The phone picked up and I described the tape on my peephole, the note, the shoes, and heard the dispatcher's voice change from bored to careful. "Stay put," she said, "someone's 2 blocks away." In the quiet between words, I heard a second soft knock 3 doors down, then another on the floor below, faint through the stairwell. Whoever was out there wasn't patient. They were working the hallway like a route. I pulled my mirror from the bathroom and angled it under the door to widen the view. The shoes were gone. For a moment I thought they'd left, until the felt peeled away from the peephole and an eye filled the glass so close I could see the red in the corner. We were separated by a thumb's width of wood, and the soft knock sounded once more, too gentle for what it was asking. Downstairs a door banged, boots hit stairs, and a voice yelled security, which saved me from deciding what to do next. The eye vanished, steps pounded away. Security reached my floor later, found a backpack of tools and felt squares. They said soft knocks are filters. I believed them,